Well, there we go.
Okay, Jeep thing is okay. Jeep ducks are out in Utah, Arizona, Nevada. Okay. Sounds like that doesn't seem like if it was a Wisconsin thing, people would put like a beer or like something like that. A rubber ducky just seems kind of gay. So I'm surprised to see or hear that would be in Wisconsin. Wisconsin does a lot of gay stuff too. So anyway, I talked to Melanie about the whole don't eat pork thing on her channel too. That in the Bible, it isn't considered food.
It's a huge controversy in that. Well, I don't know about huge, but there is some controversy or discussions about that in the Christian community.
Muslims don't eat it, right?
In like ceremonial law, yeah, I don't think Muslims eat
Hindus
either.
don't
But
eat. Is that pork or beef? Cows. They don't eat cows.
oh, I think that cows are sacred for them. But
Yeah.
in biblical ceremonial
JC.
law, after the Israelites were exiled out of Egypt, and they have to do they have these very strict purification practices for when God was going to be among them in the Ark of the Covenant and all that. So everything had to be perfect, and so they couldn't eat unclean food. They could only eat what God told them was clean foods. And so in terms of meat, it was like beef, it was chicken, all that. So there was a list of the ruminant meats, like the ones they had to chew cud and have split hooves. If they only have one of those, so that doesn't count. So like a pig doesn't chew cud, but it has a split hoof, so that would be considered unclean.
What a weird line of delineation.
Well, yeah, there were very distinct factors going on there, but yeah.
What else chews cud? Is there a single other thing that chews? Well, maybe.
Yeah, ruminants like sheep do, elk. Let's see, like
Okay,
all of
so
those
they do.
ruminants type meats, they do. Deer, so on and so forth. But yeah, pork can be, and I do find, I think as
Oh, no.
and all that kind of stuff, it makes me think, oh, okay, I can see why the Bible
The streak is over.
unclean though. I mean, they're scavenger animals, and plus, like, some people have issues with their health. It kind of makes sense to me.
Mapper fire
I'm
lap.
fine. I'm down. I'm fine. It's fine. I don't care.
Yeah, like that's the thing is
I was cutting grass last night, and I got more to cut today. Finally got my lawnmower working, so I got a lot of catching up to do on my grass.
But I don't think that it's gonna
You're really
save
just
anyone
straight
health.
red? Or you do other
Just got a haircut though, so
Straight red meat?
I'm heading home.
Oh, I'll do other proteins like chicken and stuff like that.
Oh.
But I went from, because I'm almost 5 years carnivore, I went from regular, like any meats, I was fine with it. But then last year is a little over a year ago is when I started to try to do, hey, let me do biblically clean meats and avoid the
But you
unclean
were also
meats.
going carnivore to try and address some specific health issues.
Yeah,
too.
endometriosis. That was my reason for doing carnivore in the first place, and I just stick with it, because if I don't, then I'm gonna have health issues. But yeah, in terms of the whole pork thing, I don't think that's worth causing a huge fuss with people about.
Yeah.
I personally have tried it, and I do like to mostly stick with biblically clean foods, but I don't think that's going to send anybody to hell. I think that's...
It seems
yeah.
like awfully strict. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's something
Whoa.
that, hey, that's between them and God. If they...
Must be an
yeah,
airport over there, a little airport airstrip.
I don't think it's worth making a huge
Yeah.
difference. There's sin that leads... like the Bible is... There's even a verse about... hey, focus on the sin that leads to death. Don't get too worked up on criticizing your brother or sister about the little things.
Tanisha's Teacup says the
yeah.
main point being dietary restrictions were lifted in the New Testament anyway.
Well, there's some debates about that,
Oh.
about if there were actually lifted, or if, wait, but that wasn't considered food in the first place, so on and so forth. There's a lot of debates about it. And I've gone down the rabbit hole, and I see sides have points.
Yeah.
So I personally make a huge deal out of it. But it's interesting to research it.
Just so everyone knows, the reason fails is 100% my fault.
It's fun!
We're definitely gonna get like Anton says. I figured I might as well read his meat related one. Good afternoon from Anton's Meat Neat. Free shipping for your biltong using code QUARTERING at Biltong USA and AntonUSA.com. No ducks, only beef. Be a man, drive a truck, eat biltong. I do drive a truck.
Drive a Jeep, eat biltong.
Yeah, right, yeah. Smoke a vape with your asshole. Butt chug a vape. By the way, Anton, if you haven't sent it already, I don't need meat this week because I thought it was gout, so I wasn't eating my meat. Because he sends me like the Wagyu, which is,
Right.
pretty fatty, like red meat. And before I went to the doctor, I was like, well, this is gout. I'm not eating any meat. Then I went today and they're like, no, you're good. You just probably, it's just crazy inflamed. Casey Gates is currently cooking a steak right now. Is that a New York strip? It looks like yeah, I don't recognize that cut. I think it's the New York strip, it looks like.
Oh.
Ribeye the best cut for your money, by the way.
Ribeye's good.
I like the fancy cuts, obviously. I mean, if I could afford to eat Wagyu, like A3 or A4 or whatever, I would every day. If I could afford to eat, although tomahawk steaks are kind of just fancy, like they're not. I don't think a tomahawk steak tastes any better than a ribeye. It's just like a fancy cut, and people think it's cool to have a huge bone. But
Yeah, I like just the very basic sirloin cut. I think that's great.
Oh, it's a porterhouse. You're right. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, Casey, you're right. It's a porterhouse. Yeah. Oh, you're also the one that posted it, so you're definitely right. Yeah. I don't see a lot of porterhouses, to be honest with you. I never really see. I guess when I used to work in the restaurant, we had a porterhouse on the menu. Like I worked in like a supper club, but I don't see a lot of porterhouse on the menu anymore. I wonder why that is. Maybe it's just too big of a cut.
Hey,
Like
Jacob.
usually it's a fillet.
Good to see you, buddy.
T-bone or New York.
Yeah, I turned on to watch Rob, and I forgot he's not going to be on until 9 p.m. Eastern. So I was like, shit.
Okay, where are we? Oh, so let's talk about. I want to talk about Media Matters first.
Right.
Well, Media Matters is a garbage organization that essentially
Working and surfing, yeah.
they're censorship bullies and they're like professional cry bullies. So, like, let's say, like, I guarantee your little.
Yeah, my schedule's been whack lately. It's been changing up quite a bit. I'm hoping it's going to start stabilizing pretty soon.
What they do is they'll like petition big companies. They'll be like, oh, look, your ad ran a Melanie Mack's video, but here's a different out of context reference of her saying.
He's going to be stepping on Jow tonight.
You wouldn't want to be spot. You wouldn't want us to write an article that say you support that, do you?
Oh, bunch of
Well, it's only 7 p.m. his time, so.
For recess, I gotcha.
Yeah, that's.
We still got to make it home and cut the grass.
Primarily, they
We're finished cutting the grass. I started it last night.
When there's not enough Jew stuff to grift off of, they'll do like hate speech or stuff like that. And so essentially they've been operating with impunity for almost 15 years, maybe longer. I wish Jeremy would learn how to pronounce Wagyu instead of Wagyu. I know how to say it, I just feel pretentious when I say it that way. Everyone where I live calls it Wagyu. Like, not Wagyu. When the chef comes out.
Eggsy.
But other than that, anyway, so that's what they did, and so they did this to Twitter by essentially looking up. So they would go to like Coca-Cola, for example, and get cookied by Coca-Cola, meaning anywhere they went, if the website had Google AdSense or Google AdWords, AdSense on it, if they were getting retargeted, they would see a Coke ad. So they would explicitly go to like Coca-Cola's website, Honda's website, accept cookies, and then go to like a racist website.
Yeah.
So the ad would display, essentially inorganically get an ad to display. Then they printed it all out and they went to like Honda, Disney, and said like, "Whoa, heavens to Murgatroyd! Here's a tweet from Nick Fuentes, and right here is an ad." Even though they inorganically made that ad appear next to it, and so Elon sued them because of this reason. Because you have to have hundreds of billions of dollars to matter.
Right.
And But today they have like a dozen people. So
Oh, right.
yeah, I don't think they're like a huge organization. So like a dozen is probably a nice chunk. And like I love how every one of them run to X. You know, the neo-Nazi extremist website. Yeah, right. Jim says they also refresh the page 1,000 times just to get the ads display. Right.
Wow.
They would like, yes, technically the ad served, but like 1 in a million. Like Elon hit back. He's like, oh no, here's the actual number. We found your ad session. Basically, you were, full of shit. This didn't happen. You made it happen. And so now he's suing them. I think he'll win. And so all these people are like, oh, I got laid off. If you was like Schadenfreude, if you like shit libs getting dunked on, just go to any one of their, everyone's laughing at them. They're all, like, oh, sucks to suck.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's really tough when some asshole, because they're all blaming it on Elon. So
Right.
it really sucks when some asshole fucks with your business. And you end up
I wonder who else does that.
Yeah, that's the one. This one does not cite the best one. I think it was Daily. Well, it's not Daily Caller, is it? Yes, it is. This one features the best one. Here. This individual, who's a TikToker and also works at Media Matters, whose Twitter bio had previously said, I watch Fox News, so you don't have to. It still says that. Palestinian flag in the bio.
Of course there is.
So it's like, bad news, I've been laid off from Media Matters. There's a reason far-right billionaires attack Media Matters with armies of lawyers. They know how effective our work is. And it terrifies them. So of course everyone's like, how concerned are you about finding a job given the dwindling amount of positions for the work you do and your inability to distinguish yourself from competitors? Or like Tim, it's never too late to learn to code. Everybody, just curious, how does a dose of your own medicine taste? Like all these redheaded libertarian, did you really think if you complained about the owner of X on X that Media Matters would see it, decide you were stunning and brave and rehire you? Everybody is just enjoying.
That's the thing, is these people's jobs. I mean, even Bible talks about this. You set a trap to hurt other people, you're gonna fall in it, and that's exactly what we're seeing unravel here. Here's people's entire jobs is to set a trap to get people fired, to get people to get these websites to try to get their income taken away, so on and so forth. That's your entire job, and then now you get laid off. So it's like, hey, at the end of the day, you fell in your own trap.
Yeah, it is truly great to see, like in every conceivable way. I love it. I don't care. Rest in piss. I hope all these people have never work a fulfilling job again in their life, because they add nothing good to society. Their only job is to censor people. They just do it a little differently.
Right.
They do it in the shadows and they demonetize people, and then they'll say, well, getting demonetized is being censored. Yeah, okay, sure. Now I have to fire everybody. Thanks.
Right, exactly.
The kid that does my graphic design, that doesn't even, that doesn't, because you got your, tampon in a twist, and then you had to so that these people are the worst. By the way, also chefs. Someone tweets, chef's kiss. TikToker Cat Abu, that's who this person is so happy Tucker Carlson got fired. So it's like,
wow.
I hope, they'll get a little bit of sympathy. Half of these people will be selling pictures of their butthole on the internet. And the other half will, have to get a real job at some point. And I think, normally I don't love when people lose jobs. Normally I don't.
But in this case, when that is their whole job is getting people to lose income, they deserve it.
Yeah, they're just actually evil people, actual garbage humans who deserve everything bad that happens. No, I'm not saying I want them to get I just want them to live in poverty and unhappiness the rest of their life. I want them to live very long though. I want them to see all of their friends get married and have kids and have all their friends, so that And then when they're alone on their deathbeds and nobody's there for them to help fight the ghosts away that are swirling around them as they slip into the ether of night, like at that moment when they look back at what they've done with their lives, then I will, then I'll be happy. Yeah, so I want them to suffer forever. I've never. Yeah, my pain medicine's wearing off. I just think these people are the worst humans on the planet, and they've convinced themselves through crazy amounts of mental gymnastics that they're doing something good or righteous, and maybe they were a good person, at one point, but their job is to ruin other people's lives.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about them as I do cancer. Both of them are very bad.
I think you need to take one of the Vicodin or whatever before every stream. No, don't really do that.
No, I didn't take any. I didn't take any. That's why I'm like, because I already, earlier when I did, I uploaded the wrong flipping video. So, yeah.
It's hilarious.
So let me catch up on these. JR or Junior says, I've been telling those Media Matter journalists that sex work is real work and they need to go get it. I agree. May their crusty buttholes receive 0 clicks. Continue to haunt them. I hope one day their mother sees it. Someone prints it out and shows it to their mom, and then they come over, and then I don't know if you ever I remember when I got caught with I know my parents watched the show, they were there, I don't care. My parents found my weed when I was 18.
Right.
I came home, I think I was 17 or 18 or whatever, when I was senior in high school. I came home and I knew I had lost it. I lost a little cellophane of weed. If you're unfamiliar, when you're poor, you keep your shitty ditch weed in a little cellophane from the bottom of a pack of cigarettes. And you fold it up and you take a lighter and seal it. And it's one step up from a film canister. But then when I get home and it's just sitting out on the counter, I'm like, there's that feeling where you're like, shit. There's the weed I lost a month ago.
Yeah.
Why is it on the table? Oh, my mom was doing my laundry and she's found it in my sock drawer or something like that. That's what I want to happen to them, but with a high definition picture of their butthole that they put on the internet when they come home for Thanksgiving. Their parents are like, but you said you were doing all right. Why would you do this to your mom? And then be like, I hope they're very traditional. And
right.
They have their kids call them Oma and Opa or something like that, and they're like, "Why would you do this to your father?" That whole scene plays out. It'll be great. The Omega says it's a myth that halacha, Jewish law, is abolished. Jesus himself said, "Not until heaven and earth passes away." Matthew 15, 17, 21. No pork for the win. I noticed that. I don't know if I should. I'm not gonna. There's a
Sorry,
people who aren't.
I'm a heathen. Pork me up.
That don't eat pork.
Right.
Usually black dudes. I don't know.
Wait, black dudes who don't eat pork?
I've met a lot of black guys that don't eat pork, but they're not muscle.
Okay, I don't know.
They're just not down with the swine. So I don't know. Maybe that's something in the it's been in passing, and I'm like, oh, you don't eat. I don't get. I've been with a vegetarian for 25 years. I don't question people when they're like, I don't eat this or that.
Right.
Whatever. But yeah, I'm always like, oh, that's they're not muscle and they don't eat pork. But maybe it's the black Israelites. No, that's not it. Maybe you switch to Linux. My stream rig is on Linux. Yeah, but what about the NVIDIA 4080 Ti? Is there a Linux driver for it? That's the only piece of hardware I'm worried about not having. Somebody emailed me and they're like, I'll help you. I used to be so good with tech, but now I'm not anymore.
Yeah, I feel like that's where I am not. I haven't kept up with all the...
I used to do the dual boot thing, dual boot Linux, and it was fun to try to get my fucking scanner to work. Oh man, I got Linux. All I gotta do is figure out how to make the scanner work. I'm gonna try 1,000 different drivers. I'm sure Linux has come a long way since then. But he emailed, I could be wrong. They emailed me and said that they would help. And I started looking there are some scans you can do. I'm like, I don't think they have drivers for my video card, but anyway, I'm open to it. Matthew Hammond says pork had parasites during biblical times. Oh, okay. Also, Matt, Jeep reliability went to crap when Fiat Chrysler merged with a French company to become
Stellantis? I don't know what that is. I don't know. Some people are like really adamant about, no, you shouldn't do it. Don't get one. Don't get one. They're bad.
Oh, look at the other side of the
We'll see.
freeway.
Whatever you want.
They are
Whatever you
backed.
want.
I've only, I've had, with my vehicle history, I got my car
Wow.
I'm driving
Wonder
now.
what the fuck
Honda
happened
Fit
here.
In like 2017. And it's like, it's always been, let me just buy a super affordable car and all that. I've never bought a car that was like, I want to buy a car that I like, that is something that I want. I haven't done that.
Something must be happening on the
So,
turnpike
I
or
would
something
like
for them to have all this traffic
It's
on
not a
there.
bad way to live,
considering
though.
it. We'll
Like,
see.
when I rolled coal.
This is nuts. This road takes you to Fort Wayne, Indiana, if you stay on it for an hour.
Very recently, every car I've ever bought was like, what's the, because I'm 6'5", I'm big, like, what's the highest efficiency car I can get that I can still feel comfortable in?
Right.
I drove a Chevy Cavalier for a long time, and it was like anything that could get me 30 miles to the gallon. Like, I never cared. I never cared about cars. You know, like, I was like, whatever. But I do get that, like, you know, that kind of like, oh, I want to do something fun.
Yeah, that's what I
You know
meant.
what you should get? Here's what you should get: is a Hilux.
A Hilux?
A Hilux. It is. I guarantee you'll love it. Hold on a second. Let me just.
Alright.
Oh yeah, you can look it up. Yeah, you know what it is.
Wait, is it a Toyota?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I mean, it looks cool.
15 grand brand new.
What?
Yeah. Except you have to pay like 50 grand to import it because for whatever weird reason, there's some weird reason. Well, you were talking about a Gladiator. That's up $80,000 to $100,000.
Well, no, I found I can get one for like $49,000.
Oh, used.
A 2023, no, new 2023. As long as automatic, 4x4. I think they dropped the price down a lot on them though. So what they
That's
used
more
to be.
affordable than I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last cab I had was a 2001 Cavalier too. It was red. It got like 35 miles to the gallon. The only reason I got rid of it is that there was like a weird electrical issue that started. And I could never. Once a car has electrical problems, it's just done.
Right.
You'll never find it. The shit will break. Like I broke down driving to Chicago from my house. Like I was going to pick someone up from the airport. And like it was a total disaster. Like I had to call someone to then drive to get somebody from the airport, then pick me up on the way back. It was very bad. But I mean, that's not a Cavalier thing. I think it was just
Right.
whatever. There was something wrong with my particular car. Oh yeah. States are catching on the fact that electric cars are avoiding gas taxes. They're adding a tax or tag reduce. That's what they do in Wisconsin.
Oh.
It's like $85 for my truck tag and like $150 for the Tesla. It's like such a bullshit, like unwarranted fee. Like, it's just like, you know, oh, we're gonna charge you more. Why? Fuck you. That's why.
Right.
Why is like my wife's car? Why the hell is your registration so expensive? I want to say it was like $135, $150. Mine was like $80. I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, well, it's always been. And I like this is relatively recent. I looked it up. What the fuck? Wisconsin is charging me essentially a luxury tax.
Right.
An unwarranted taxation because I don't pay their other tax.
My goodness.
It's
Wow. I hate taxes.
yeah. Bold statement. The Tevin says I hate EV simply for the fact that they are trying to force them on people. Yeah, I don't agree with that either. I prefer simplicity. Give me a brand new car, crank windows, and electronics. That's hard to get. When I sold cars in like 2000 and must have been like 2008, 2009. And I had a lot of people that would come in and be like, I want crank, you know, I want a Silverado. I sold Chevys. I want a Silverado crank windows, you know, vinyl floor mats. Sorry, they don't exist. You can custom order one, wait 6 months, and then get one. And then usually the people that did, they'd say, fine by me.
Right.
They would wait. It'd say, I want a base model. I want a base model for Silverado, 8-foot bed. They don't exist. Like, no, it's a perfect truck. That's what you want. You want an 8-foot bed, but all the trucks, they sell you crew cabs, which have a 5-foot bed. That's it. I need an 8-foot bed. I'm like, yeah, there's one 6 hours away. That's the only one in the state. Go ahead and go get it. Like, nobody stocks those base model cars, which is, I didn't agree. Or manual bros too. Like, I want a Malibu but manual. Okay, me too. I want to use parts rainbows. You have to custom order it, and then you pay full sticker, which people didn't want to do. They wanted a deal, and I was like, well, I'm not discounting this because I have to order a custom for you. So you can pay full price. And anyway, yeah. I don't like forcing EVs on anybody either. Jeremy just showed Dank that short of the little Yorkshire girl complaining about the cost of ice cream. Yeah, that's his kid for sure. Yeah. Yeah, that was cute. That short did very good. Too bad you don't make any money on shorts.
I know. It's like, well, you can on TikTok if you you can on TikTok in the creator program or on Instagram Reels. Sometimes you can get in on their little promotions that they'll compensate you for.
Yeah, their little bounties or whatever.
Yeah. But it's never been that much. Instagram paid awful when I was in those programs. TikTok doesn't pay that great either.
It's better than YouTube. YouTube for 1 million shorts views is like, I would say, it's if you had to guess, well, you have inside knowledge, but like
I don't know about shorts views pay. Honestly, I wouldn't. Yeah.
Imagine you get like $100 for 1 million views.
Wow, yeah, that's not good.
It's not even worth it. Yeah, and you get a bunch of subscribers from it, but they don't watch your long form videos.
Right.
And they don't watch your live streams.
So what's the
It's
point?
like two siloed groups. I've been gaining like 1,000 subs a day from shorts, and like I don't see any new people commenting on my videos. I don't see very new people in chat. They're like, if they could figure out a way, or if they did figure out a way, to merge these two worlds, that would be great. Did Melanie ever watch the Lara Croft versus Indiana Jones rap battle? Oh man, that's a blast from the past.
It's good.
Yeah, remember that? That was like, when was that? That was like 2010.
Car wash time.
Or is there I thought there was a newer one from like a year or two ago too, though. I don't know, maybe not.
It was the epic rap battles from history, and it was like.
There was one for a little more recent because they talked about Reboot Lara and that kind of dissed her a little bit. I think. It was fun. It was funny.
Yeah, I mean maybe they're still making them. I just remember that was around the time where Epic Mealtime and like Epic Rap battles were both like every video they put out got like 25 million views.
I remember those Epic Mealtime videos popped off.
Now I'm friends with Harley, and every time he calls me, he's high on hash. This guy calls, call me or text me. Yeah, he's nice. I love him. He's a great guy. But like, I've never asked him, but my assumption is he did quite well during that era, and now he does this.
Thank you.
Like,
Good night.
Like, you don't want to make videos anymore. You don't want to do anything. You just want to go to music festivals and get high on hash and MDMA. He's like, yep. And I was like, okay. You start to put the things together, and you're like, oh, yeah, he probably made millions back then.
Oh yeah,
and millions. Yeah. And worth it,
Oh yeah.
Good for him. Have you guys seen this Stephen Colbert Skibbity Vine clip? I'm not showing it because I love our viewers too much. But, I never understood this. The Skibbity thing where it's like a guy's coming out of the toilet. This guy, he's like I don't know if he's popular from shorts or from just YouTubing in general. I don't know who watches these videos.
Right.
But if he had our view, like if he's a mega like YouTube channel, like hundreds of millions of views per video. I don't know who watches it. I don't know what it's for, but it's incredibly. Let me see if I find his channel. is he just they're all like, is it him digital? Who's the actual creator? I don't want to give credit to. Why is Skibbityverse? So Skibbityverse is deleted now?
I can
I
see
don't
him.
know. It's a guy whose head's coming out of the toilet. It makes no sense whatsoever. It's like the Frozen. Remember the time when all the like Spider-Man and Frozen videos were getting like 50 million views each?
Oh, yeah.
Then it turned out that the two guys making them were pranksters. Like it was
it's like, oh, that's weird. I thought this was, it just was so weird to me that a gaming esports org was wanting to have me on board for prank content. It's like, no, I don't do prank content.
Yeah, and there was a lot of that back in the day, like where these content houses and stuff like that were like this, like I said, the prank stuff, the Spider-Man and Elsa, back when like YouTube was still the wild west and like didn't get away with, like, I'm Joey Salas, I'm gonna drink my own piss and I'm gonna go into the ghetto, gone sexual. Like, those videos were fully monetized and like fake and also unironically racist. And I was like, he was like faking race crime or hate crimes and stuff. I'm like,
gosh.
what are you doing? Yeah, like, what is this? Like, oh, I took my Trump, I'm a Trump voter in the hood. And I was like, oh no, he just paid people.
Yeah.
It was all of it was fake. All of it. It was like the weirdest, like, reveal when like you're like, oh, all these channels that are the most popular are literally fake or astroturf. They're like owned by somebody else, and they understood the algorithm so good and so much better than everyone else that they could just do whatever. My Christian was 6 speed. Oh, talking about car stuff still. I'm very poor at them. Oh, by the way, I want to mention that you're gonna have to pull it down. I gotta run.
All right.
Make a brown. Melanie is live tonight. Tell them about Go Boom Live episode 5. I'll be back.
All right. Hi everyone. So I will be live tonight here in a little over a couple hours at 9. It will be 9 p.m. Eastern time. I will be live for Go Boom Live. You can catch me on Rumble at Melanie Mac or on YouTube at Melanie Mac Go Boom. So it'll be a fun time. Last week last week's for this show, I was on topic for one singular topic, and it was so fun. Chat was just, we got off the rails, and it was a good time. 5-speed or auto G? I would get an automatic because I don't know how to drive a manual. I know. I know. Oh, hold on. I'm trying to catch up with chat here. Oh, Douglas says I signed up for Rumble going by the name Ingtime. Cool. Well, excited to see you over there on Rumble. Rumble is great. Yes. That sounds chaotic and not fun. Oh, what now? I should be able to come through tonight. Oh, okay. Well, hopefully I'll see you guys there. What color Jeep? I like just the basic black and white. Like the black trims and accents and a white Jeep. Love the look on that. Get Kersha on a stream. I loved Kersha when I was chatting with her. She is fun. Oh yeah, I will be at doing something with Eric July. There is a Rippaverse meetup thing with Rippaverse and friends for the Dallas Fan Expo stuff. So I will be there. I will be there for that, and I'm really excited about it. I'm excited, but then it's also like I don't talk a lot about where I'm gonna be for a lot of stuff because of the stalker situations and all that I've had before. But I think this is all gonna be good. Did you hear Antonio Brown has filed for bankruptcy? What? Really? Let me see. He talks so much smack on... He talks way too much smack to be filing for bankruptcy. That's all I know. Let me see what this is all about. Oh my goodness. Retired NFL wide receiver Antonio Brown filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy on Monday, court records show. Brown, 35, owes nearly $3 million to 8 creditors, according to the records, which were filed in the U.S. Bankruptcy Court of Southern District of Florida. Why are people so irresponsible with their money? Oh yeah, people who don't know who that was. He's a retired NFL wide receiver. He used to be for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm a big Steelers fan, but oh my gosh, talk about somebody with a mouth on him. Trash talk, and I like good smack talk and all that's funny, but oh my goodness, he was just something else. He's a character on a whole other level of all that. Oh my goodness, so it looks like he's filed for bankruptcy. $3 million? You owe $3 million, dude? How are people so bad with their money? How do you become an NFL wide receiver and make millions and millions of dollars? Let me see, like, what was Antonio Brown's net worth before, obviously, this situation? Well, he's claiming that his current assets are worth less than $50,000, despite making more than $80 million during his playing career. First of all, I don't know how true it is that his assets are only worth less than $50,000. I don't know if he's just trying to get away with keeping as much money as he can during this bankruptcy process. But how do you make more than $80 million and then have to file for bankruptcy? Like, how do you fumble that bad? Goodness gracious.
All right, fueled up. We're gonna get fuel for the lawnmower.
Well, what would you estimate that take home would be? I would say even if the take home of an $80 million contracts, like let's say it was just a fraction of that. Let's say he only brought home $8 million, which obviously was way more than that. How do you get yourself in? What the crap? Are you guys for real about Nick Mercator right now? I ain't trying to like gossip about him. Like I hope he's okay. I just hope he's okay. My interactions with him have been nothing but good, so I have nothing bad to say about him. But I hope he's okay. Because it does, what I've seen in pictures and stuff, he does look like, I don't know, alcoholism alcoholism, if that's just it, or if other drugs, or if anything like that's involved, but he definitely looks unwell, and yeah, we just gotta pray for him. Oh my goodness. Is for real arrested though? Let's find out.
Who got arrested?
Supposedly Nick Rekieta?
No way. They're just fooling.
Wait. No, I think it's real.
Hold on. You sure?
I don't know. This is apparently breaking news right now. That's oh my goodness. I hope that I just hope he can get better, and my interactions with him were nothing but good. But it does look like, oh my gosh. I just hope he's okay, and I hope he can get okay.
It's just possession, he'll be fine. But
Okay.
I mean, the rest is not that big a deal. He needs help.
Yeah.
Confession before we talk about that. I don't think I know how to use a cane.
You don't know what it is, a cane?
Yeah. I never use. Am I supposed to put it on the side, my good side or my bad side? I've been
That's a
putting it
good
on my.
question. I would put it on my bad side and just lean on it instead of the
I'm
leg.
putting on my good side. But listen,
Why?
here's my logic. So I put my good foot down, right?
Yeah.
It's stable, and then I have the cane so that when I need to lift my other foot. Okay, so I'm doing it.
Well, yeah, that's the point. Is you pretend like you treat it like a leg, like you put the pressure on the cane instead of your
Look,
leg.
I've never owned a. There's this still a cane on it.
How are you even? It's so you can keep your good side really good. That's it.
Oh.
I think that was your strategy.
Well, you know what it was is I'm so afraid of biffing it with this cane, you know? But it's like, if I put it in my left arm, it's already my non-dominant arm. So I don't feel as strong on that side. And then I'm a
put
band-aid
weight
right
on it. Yeah, just put weight on it so you don't have to put weight on your hurt foot. That's yeah.
It's also hard to buy a cane when you're 6'5".
I'm sure. I can't relate to that struggle.
Yeah.
My aunt, she has to use a cane because she was in a head-on collision oh gosh, it's been a long time ago, like over a decade ago. And so, yeah, I mean, she almost didn't make it. So she has issues. So she uses a cane, but she always kept forgetting it. My mom made up a song to help her remember it. It's just like, oh, don't forget your cane.
Wait, what? That's not making up a song. That's calling her mom a whore.
No, her sister. But yeah, they were. Mom's like, "Don't make up a song so you don't forget your cane, you whore." And then, so then they were just changing. Yeah, I made up one. It was like, uh-oh, Kathy. Oh dear. Oh no, you forgot your cane. You
Guitardo.
Stupid hoe.
Jeez. The math family goes hard.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. Is my mom is a savage, and people that's where I get it from. They think I'm bad. It's like, no, she's way more savage than me.
Someone in the chat said buy a walking stick. You know what's funny is I did own a walking stick. I do own a walking stick, but it started to. I actually bought it at the Renaissance Fair, so I was like, I don't know if this. I mean, it's like funny, like. It's like a Gandalf. It's like
like
8 feet tall. So it is a walking stick, but it's like 8 feet tall, and I bought it for the Renaissance Fair. I like to do some. I don't get dressed all the way up, but one year I will. And but I bought it because I was like, oh, it's tall. Like I can actually.
Right.
But now it started to curve, so it's like. So if I put it down wrong, it's just slides out. So I'm like, I can't use this without dying. I will I know that it would be better off for me to not use a cane at all than to biff it using a cane.
Right.
Big guy, big man, big fall.
For sure.
That's not yeah, sorry, but I'm all over the place. The average millionaire is bankrupt within 3 years. I'd buy that.
Oh yeah, Antonio Brown. You know Antonio Brown,
Yeah,
sure.
CTE.
Apparently he's just filed for bankruptcy.
I'm not surprised.
Yes, I'm not either, but because he owes like $3 million to different creditors. But the dude had like over $80 million from his contracts and stuff like that from playing in the league. I don't know what the take home is with all that, but still, how do you go from that kind of money to filing for bankruptcy? My goodness.
It happens quick and it happens all the time. What happens is all their homies rob them, which is true. Nowadays, it doesn't happen. Like, you watch NFL. Look up like they do with these. I think Aaron Rodgers has talked about it before, and a few other players talk about it. Most of what they do now in these rookie mandatory OTAs is teach you how to manage money.
Yeah.
Because they would all, even though they just had a rookie contract, you get a check for $180,000, you don't pay taxes on it. You're spent like immediately. Usually in the NBA, like Latrell was it Sprewell? Sprewell had made like $150 million during his career, and he was dead broke because his family robbed him. Everyone, all his homies, all his family.
Wow.
And also, you don't have to be smart to play football. So
true. That is very true.
Yeah, there's not. So, I mean, Antonio Brown is not very smart.
Yeah, he's demonstrated that.
Yeah. He's got an incredible piece on him. Congratulations, but now he's broke. Well, the reality is he's probably got 15 million in assets. He's got 3-4 houses that he owns half of. He's gonna have to go into BK to restructure all of his loans, and he's still gonna be rich. It's just, MC Hammer too. Yeah, that's another great example. MC Hammer had $50,000 lunches with his entourage on a regular basis because lunch is a daily affair. Plus 50K was like 120 now. And he went broke too. That there's many such cases, in particular in sports, because you give these like young bucks a bunch of money, they bring all their homies with them. That's why, like, you look at, and I know this isn't going to resonate with chat, but I do like sports. Melanie does too. But you look at like a guy who plays for the Minnesota Timberwolves, who literally can't stop getting arrested, and it's cost him his Nike deal, which was like $100 million, because he keeps like after the game driving around and like putting a gun in an Instagram live stream, hanging out with his hood rat friends, and it's like, what do you think's gonna happen, you idiot? Right. Like, you got out, bro. You got out of the hood. What are you doing? So many of these guys get like people call them, phonies or
hey, grass is finally cut in the front anyway. Now it's time for the back.
Get in trouble. Leave the hood behind. Buy your mama a house, and put your money in the bank, because the average NFL career isn't even 2 contracts.
Right.
That's everyone talks about quarterbacks money, but if you're some mid-grade defensive lineman, you have a career that's 4 years long. And you didn't make very much money, That's why offensive linemen are always so rich. You look at all these offensive linemen, they're like married to dime piece women. Yeah. They have money forever because they're just like, nobody cares about offensive line. It's not like a flashy position. Pays good. They have long.
Thanks for hanging out, guys.
And, they look out for
if I get this grass done in time, I'll be going on the main channel tonight.
Madam Max is
hopefully the internet gets fixed at the office soon, so I can do it from there too. Love you guys. Peace.
It's sitting